traders, what up investors? Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and thank you for tuning in for another fantastic video. Yes, Jack Ma is back? I'm not sure. Like, there was a video of him talking that he normally does, like this annual event, talking to teachers in the rural part of China. But there's still just a smorgasbord of totally crazy, more unanswered questions. Where you been, my friend? You've been staying low for like 3 months. Like you got these companies. You got ever since the Chinese government kind of whoosha, went down on him on basically the ant IPO again 3 months ago. Doesn't it 3 months ago seem like a decade ago? But with this like crazy video of him talking on this conference, it literally has shot up Alibaba and all the other heavier tech focused and Chinese stocks that are trading here in the United States. Just rose up because of that. They're like, oh, he's alive. Okay, back to business. Like, but there's still so many like questions and unanswered stuff, and it was just like a little strange. But so let's kind of get back into it here, looking at some of the articles here on again. Basically, this is the one that really highlights it. This is him on the little conference here, just talking to rural teachers. But still, there wasn't really much after that. Again, making his first appearance since 3 months ago. That's really the most key point here. Of course, we talked about that ant IPO that was supposed to go public. That didn't happen. At like the very last second, the Chinese government swooped in and said, nix that. And at the same time, with the antitrust probe, again, I didn't know that department existed in China, basically coming in on Alibaba. Once we kind of go to the chart and the stock, you'll see these very, very large pullbacks that we've seen in the last, again, 3 months since this individual has been missing. But now, since he pokes his head out of the ground here, and everyone's just kind of going crazy here on that. Again, I think it's a little bit an overreaction, to be quite honest, on that. But let's go ahead and jump into looking at the charts here, and then we're going to be looking at an options trade that someone is putting out that's a fairly large trade, about $5 million. We're looked at through Tastyworks. So that being said, here you can kind of see here, since that IPO has failed, the Ant IPO, which is like a fintech company, very well known within the Chinese market. You're seeing it since that like failure of that, we hit that all-time high, and then it's just been nothing but downhill. Like, it's been like you're in that bobsled, you're going 120 miles per hour, you're going left, you're going right, but you're all going downhill. With that being said, that has been holding that 21 EMA continue going down. We saw a little bit of consolidation here, but then we got slapped across the face with the second wave of the antitrust. And then, of course, that went down, brought the stock all the way down to its low, basically around 211. We haven't seen that low for quite some time. That was, again, well, since the pandemic, and it's a pretty low for the overall stock movement that we've seen with its increasing share value and really its growth. With that, we talked about the Fibonacci numbers here. We talked about the $227 being somewhat of some support here. Be mindful, we do have earnings coming up as well. We're kind of holding this base around 227 to 225 would be the next level of support if it does come down. We did see the 5 and 8 moving averages to kind of start curling up here, crossing through the 21 EMA. Nice little sign here. Of course, with these really large gap up of nearly, I think the stock was up nearly 7% today. So you can see here, gapped up. Guess where it went right to? It went right to the 618, around the $262 range, kind of where we've seen it bounce around before the debacle of the antitrust probe. So again, there's still so many unanswered questions. We're really just looking at the charts, seeing how people are playing it, looking at the options tree, and looking at any large orders going through and what people are potentially betting. And really, with the betting behind it, we're looking at some interesting stuff going forth within the Tastyworks account. Of course, with someone betting $5 million basically on a coin flip to see how things happen. So right now, we're hitting that little wall resistance around the 262 to 265. if that wants to break and we want this momentum to continue going higher, because we're not seeing that significant amount of volume coming in today. We need to see between the hours of 3 to 4 p.m. today, we would like to see another push higher here, potentially trying to hit the 287, which would be the next overall wall of resistance or the next target or magnet to the upside. In the short side, we're going to be looking for around, again, that 262 for support, and even coming back down to 250, and then we'll talk about 244 and even 227, which is, again, those are a little bit more extreme. That's something literally has to recover. We find out, he actually got all his fingers cut off because he didn't listen or whatever. So that being said, let's go ahead and just switch on over to the old Tastyworks here. We're going to pull up Alibaba. There we go. So we wanted to, oh, sorry, I forgot to show the trade first. Let's go back here. So someone bought a February 21st call and put. They bought the 280 call, the 250 put. Again, this is the play that we're going to be talking about once we kind of switch over to Tastywork. All right, let's go look at Alibaba trade, though. We talked about that $5.5 million trade. Again, someone buying 3,500 contracts. You can see here on the 255 call or 255 put and the 280 call. So of course this is called a strangle, not a straddle. So straddle would be something if you buy across the same strike price. These are two different strike prices, kind of a little bit mitigating the overall capital needed. Because again, if we just did like this, say the 265, you can see that it's 2,600, and that overall trade would jump up nearly double. They're, again, being a little bit capital sensitive to this. Again, it's still a very expensive trade at $5.5 million for this to go out here. Again, same kind of principle as a straddle. The strangle is basically the same kind of curve, but we're looking for a large exhaustive move up or down. You can get a rocket ship or a rocket crash. Rockets go up and down, so just remember that. With that being said, we're going to be definitely looking if it wants to come back down and they want to make a lot of cheddar, it needs to go below 240. And at the same time, if it wants to go higher, it needs to get above 300. So that's what the key limits that we're going to be looking at. Again, Tastyworks does a fantastic job on highlighting this. And again, affiliate link down below. If you open an account with $2,000 or more, you have a chance of getting 100 free shares or a selection of 100 options. Again, if you open up an account with $2,000 in the account, brand new account, down in the link in the description. If you definitely check it out, I love Tastyworks. That's just my honest opinion. So it does a great job telling us we have earnings on February 11th. As of right now, the expected move for this options expiration for monthly February's is about $25. So, and they highlight that with this orange bar here. So both these strike prices are within the expected move. With earnings, I think a lot of people know this. Earnings could be a coin flip. So this is really what this play is. They're just betting the money and hoping for a large move up or down. The downside to this play is the theta, so it's very time sensitive. With earnings just coming around the corner, they could they might even hold this, get out or before the earnings. If there's a dump of whatever news you saw just today, Jack Ma pops his head out of the hole, and the stock jumps up $15. What happens if we found out that video was taken 7 years ago or whatever? I'm just making that up, and the stock can come right back down. Just be very mindful of this. The theta is very intense. So if this stock literally does nothing, this trade will lose about $135,000 a day. All right, that's pretty intense, right? Because that's that theta we talk about. Theta, the time decay. It's 30 days out. That theta is going to be kicking in closer and closer. The date comes to expiration. That theta is going to increase. So be super mindful of that. Ignore our fantastic Virginia-based trash people out there. They make a lot of noise. Great folks. Remember, don't forget to tip your trash man. Anyways, with that being said here, those would be some of the overall trade we're looking at here. Again, kind of tying this up, going back to the charts here. With that, again, earnings coming out on the 2nd. It's the 2nd. Why does Tastyworks has the 11th? They have the 11th. Okay. So I'm gonna rely on on Thinkorswim. I'm gonna have to email support on that one. That seems a little strange. So that's a little error there. So be mindful of that. Always double check, even triple checks on the earnings announcements. So on that particular stock. So, anyways, that being said, that level, that magnet around 287 potentially. If we do get a break above that, we could easily potentially even run to 300. To the downside, we have some short-term support around the 262. If that breaks, we could be coming back down to like the 250-ish to 245 range. All right, guys, I want to thank you for coming by. And again, join the Discord, a link in the description as well, completely free. We talk about all fantastic things. Costco snacks, you know I love Costco. Costco, if you're listening, hit your boy up. Anyways, that being said, please don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out the door, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace!